Well, hello and welcome to Celebration Machine. I'm your host, Pete Hammond. Thank you for joining me. If this is your first time being here, welcome. Well, folks, I have to say, nice videos about the movie Disclosure Day. I went with my wife for date night yesterday. There it is. I really don't like to be a negative guy, but I think it was a whiff. I think it was a huge miss. I'm going to tell you why. Was it fun? Was it exciting? Was there lots of interesting things to look at in terms of visual stuff? I mean, first of all, there's going to be spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, don't watch this video. But if you have, and you're into the real disclosure movement and you're fascinated by the idea of aliens coming to Earth and disclosure being a real thing, which is starting in mainstream media, I think you'll join me in saying that that movie was a huge miss. What a huge opportunity missed to really make something that could have had a hell of a lot more impact than just a fun summertime movie about aliens, which is what it felt like to me. Don't even ask my wife about it. She was pissed. She didn't like it. First off, the way the movie looked, beautiful. I didn't like the CGI. It just looked really shitty for 2026 and the technology we have. The animals didn't really look that real. Maybe that was on purpose. I don't know, but it took me out of the movie. I just really wish they would have taken the time, like where the movie ended was where the movie should have started, like with the actual disclosure. They cut it off. Now, maybe that's because they're going to make a part 2 and go deeper into this and make the movie that I think myself and a lot of people want to see, which is what would actually happen if real disclosure happened with undeniable evidence that we're not alone in the universe and that we have a different history than we've been taught, and potentially there's technology that can come along and change the way we live, to really change every structure on Earth as we know it, including political systems, financial systems, medical systems, everything. That's what I want to see. That's the movie I want to see. They touched on some of that. They touched on the religious side of things, like how some people could handle it, some people couldn't. But all in all, it was disappointing. There was some cool stuff about telepathy and about how the main character has the ability to read people's minds, like know everything about them. And I think that that's a possibility. I don't have the vocabulary or the knowledge to speak on that with any sort of professional or authority, rather. But I do believe that as the energy of the planet changes, we're going to see more and more of that. We're going to experience more and more of that, hopefully. That's my hopeful self, telepathy and becoming closer to a society that doesn't even need words to speak. And there's theories that we actually started that way. There's a great book called Neanderthal, I believe, and it touches on that they all hunted together through remote viewing through each other's eyes. Like, so for a pack of Neanderthal, the one 400 yards that way can see through my eyes, and we're all linked up. So we're all like switching cameras, and we can see, depending on where we focus our attention, that the angle they're seeing from, which is how they can hunt large animals quietly and kill them from a non-verbal, society, grunts and whatnot. But anyways, great book, Neanderthal. Don't know the author. Look it up. Pretty cool book. So yeah, the movie was disappointing to me. I was super pumped, super excited. I never get to go on dates with my wife. I never get to do that stuff. We live a pretty crazy, busy life. So when we do get to go out, we really want to have a good time, obviously. And to see a movie, and we're both super interested in the whole alien thing, and the way, more importantly, the way it's going to shape the world or reshape the world. Because I think it's a conversation that needs to be had. The Pentagon is now talking about it. And I mean, not that that means anything, but I'm 52, and this is the first time in my lifetime that it's sort of being taken seriously. And it's not just a fun, there's this crazy tinfoil hat wearing people that believe there's aliens, those wacky doodle people. It's being, seriously talked about to the degree where they're talking about different species, which is really cool. That would have been nuts to see years ago, but now I'm like, it's expected. And I think that's the thing that bugs me the most about the movie. It really felt like it was made for people for like 1980, where it's like the idea of aliens being real would be so shocking, like that we just couldn't handle it. And I think the majority of people are at the very least open to the idea that they exist. And even with the film and the things that are coming out now, like the Tic Tac video in particular, where the Hellfire missile hits it and it just dings off it, like that should really blow people's minds. But it's just like, and people just keep scrolling. And I think maybe that's a part of it. We're so numbed out by the volume of video and things that we ingest that we're sort of numb, and it takes a lot to really hit us between the eyes. There's a huge group people out there that believe that the government is going to do false flags and create fake alien invasions to make us fearful and all that sort of stuff. And maybe that's real. I'm not here to debate all that. I'm here to say I'm really upset that Steven Spielberg, the GOAT, one of the greatest filmmakers of certainly my lifetime, I think really dropped the ball on an opportunity to make something incredibly powerful and meaningful in a time when I think we could really use it. I think they tried, but like, again, I think they made a movie that probably would have had a lot more impact 30, 40 years ago when we didn't have the access to material that we do now. We didn't have the conversation, the access to conversation. And it was still very taboo to talk about, or at least frowned upon, or you thought, people are like, oh, you're crazy if you believe in aliens. Whereas now it's kind of like, I'd love to see the actual polls. I think a lot of people would be like, yeah, they're out there, big deal. Like, we're going to find out soon enough. It would take something incredible, like a global phenomena, a global event where ships land offshore and they just sit there and everyone freaks out and they wait, and you can't hurt them. You can't do anything to them, but they just sit there and nothing happens until people calm down and settle down. Because I think we're ready on one hand to have that sort of an experience, but on another hand, we're still quite a violent society or species. Lots of war going on, especially those in power. There's a lot of greedy people. There's a lot of people that are driven by something that is probably not conducive to a race that is beyond words at this point, that delve in the realm like that we don't even understand. What would they even be interested in us for, unless we're somehow tied to them either genetically or they're like our ancestors on some level. I mean, we can go down multiple rabbit holes, but I just wish they would have made a movie that made people really explored what would actually happen. I mean, not to pump my own stuff, but I'm writing a 3-book series about that. Well, it's certainly part of it where I want to explore it because I think it's going to happen. And I'm super curious. It's one of my passions. And I just really wish they would have made a better movie. I can't say it enough. It was so disappointing. It was like watching your dad get beat up, Like, I really had high hopes for Steven Spielberg to really come out and knock the blocks off us with something incredible and powerful and insightful and meaningful. And there was some of that in there, but just not enough. I don't give a shit about car chases. Maybe it's because I'm 53. I don't care about all that stuff and running from the bad guys. Like, no, like, what happens to the world if aliens show up? Fuck, somebody make that movie. And not Independence Day, which is like a rah, rah, America, we're going to kick the shit out of everybody. Like, I think we're over that. We're past that. Or at least the world is. We don't care about that. What would actually happen? How would society change? That's an interesting movie. That's an interesting conversation. And that's the movie I want to see. So that's all I'm going to talk about for now. If you've seen the movie and think differently, shoot me something in the comments and give me your thoughts if you've seen it. I'm really curious to see how this movie is being received. Certainly a lot of the groups I follow that revolve around the idea of aliens coming to Earth and all that sort of stuff, the UFO groups, a lot of people are really disappointed and think that a huge opportunity was missed. And I certainly feel that way because, man, it was date night. I was so pumped. I was so excited to watch a killer movie about something my wife and I are really interested in and then have that great conversation in the car ride home about this and that. And that was so cool. And I loved that. Instead, it was like what a deflating, we just drove home and we were both like, let's make a movie. Like, this is ridiculous. This is stupid, So anyways, not to be Debbie Downer, but that's my take on Disclosure Day. And maybe there's a part 2 coming out that talks about all those things. It didn't really indicate it with the ending. It could have. But come on, Steven, if you watch this or anybody in his camp, anyone in Hollywood, come on, we're ready for it. I think we're ready for a real movie about real consequences. Maybe the powers that be aren't, and maybe that's part of the reason. Maybe it needs to be an independent filmmaker to make it because God forbid we talk about real things that could actually happen. We're not scared. We're ready. I don't think we're scared. I think as a society, we can handle it. And let's explore it more. Let's talk about the real stuff, not whether they exist or not. I think most people believe aliens exist or interdimensional beings or whatever, all those things. It's a conversation that needs to be had seriously in public because I believe it's going to happen. I hope it happens. I've got to shake shit up here. But anyways, that's it. That's my video for today. Sorry, it's a couple days late. Not that anyone cares at this point, but I care. I'm trying to keep a schedule and I'm trying to stay on track, and life got in the way. Not life didn't get in the way. I had a funeral to do and all kinds of stuff. For those of you who don't know, I'm a funeral celebrant. It's going to be another video because it was a really cool one. But anyways, I'm rambling. Sorry. My name is Pete. This is a celebration machine. Go see Disclosure Day, but maybe don't pay the big bucks. We paid for the IMAX. Go see it. Let me know what you think. And have yourselves a great day, a great night, whatever. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.